Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls. Today we are covering Boruto Chapter 61 and will explain the events that have occurred. Now, I can't really say events since it must be said that Boruto's manga has continued at a genuinely grueling slow pace that is extremely frustrating. In Chapter 61, we learn hardly anything new regarding the plot, and things are reiterated by characters that have been said previously. No one can really argue against this criticism because it's clearly evident. If 3 pages are being wasted on Sasuke looking around a tree, or the same panels being reused over and over again, look at the final page of this chapter. Nothing about the manga paneling or artwork screams passion or hard work and effort.
There is no story, there is no entertainment, there is no art of reality, there is no absolutely nothing.
The only new thing we learned regarding the story is regarding Kawaki leaving the village and the Otsutsuki being able to hide their chakra. Obviously, we as reviewers are meant to criticize a piece of media, but a lot of you have a tantrum whenever we try to do our job. Like literally you would write, I hope you die for having an opinion. We all know the Boruto anime is good at the moment as it's adapting the manga and making it better. It will fix the mistakes the manga makes, such as its pacing, but obviously we can't tell the future at the moment, and therefore we express how we feel in this current moment, as our opinions may change down the line due to the new knowledge that we will obtain. With the way the manga is going, it does make us question whether or not the anime staff have a specific contract in place that disallows any content regarding certain events to be elaborated. For example, we definitely feel as a community that the Boruto anime will cover Kuruma's death more in depth, which was disallowed in the manga. There will definitely be an original episode where Naruto will cry and I'll cry with him, and then he'll have to deal with the aftermath of what life is like without Kuruma. Or, you know, even Sasuke's Rinnegan eye being addressed since he returns in Boruto Chapter 61, yet nothing is pointed out regarding it. We don't know anything that happens to Sasuke after the battle with Ishiki. So yeah, we're left confused.
I'm confused right now, G.
Let's not lie to ourselves, we all feel as though the manga should have covered this more in depth, explored these characters and developed them even further. But all that aside, let's start with the beginning of Boruto Chapter 61, as it starts with the kids trading cards once again, and the manga literally memes Shino as Boruto gets his card, but he's pissed since he has trash luck, you know what I'm saying? Boruto curses his own luck, which I guess is the writer's way of metaphorically representing his destiny, where he will lose everything for being so gifted and having those blue eyes, as Momoshiki stated. Boruto then complains regarding the Jonin that are constantly surveilling them 24/7, and he doesn't understand why it's necessary if the chakra net that the Yamanaka clan helped create is already active. Shikadai goes on to explain that chakra is like fingerprints, where no 2 chakra are identical, so their system compares chakra against the database to those that enter the village. If the visitor has new chakra, the sensory unit can determine if there is an enemy, like they did with Ishiki and Delta. The system isn't an invasion of privacy like spying on its citizens like the USA or China does in real life, don't get it wrong guys, but it's just to detect villains. This train of thought gets the characters thinking that if someone could erase their chakra, they would be able to go in and out the village undetected. Meanwhile, somewhere near the outskirts of the village, we find ourselves watching Sasuke and a bunch of other ninjas silently observing a claw mark from afar, which is from Code. One of the ninjas that's been watching it tells Sasuke that they've been posted up for 2 days with activity, but were careful not to get too close to it in the case that Code jumps out and be like, you know what I'm saying?
Surprise, motherfucker.
But Sasuke, being the Chad that he is, he starts walking up to the marks, ignoring the guy telling him to come back. Sasuke deduced that Code isn't going to appear here. Now this raises some eyebrows as the ninjas ask Sasuke how could he possibly know this? Did he use some kind of secret Uchiha ability to read Code's mind and figure out his plan? Or did Sasuke use bold deep prediction magic with his Sharingan, you know what I'm saying? Well, it turns out it was a guess!
Hey yo, what the
Sasuke states that if he was in Code's shoes, he would have chosen a different spot to emerge from. Now hearing that this was all a hunch made these guys go, "Nani? Why are you wasting my time, bruh?" To which Sasuke responds he is free to ignore everything he had told him. After all, Sasuke doesn't have any authority over them and proceeds to leave. We then cut to Amado and Shikamaru having a chat on top of the Hokage building. Amado then starts to give out some info to Shikamaru. Amado then starts giving out information to Shikamaru about Code, stating that he is cautious but not that intelligent. Shikamaru then states what we have all been thinking, that everything is going according to Amado's master script and he will betray the Leaf for his selfish reasons. But of course, Amado shoots down that idea, saying that's absolutely ridiculous, that everything was a chain of surprises which he could have never guessed. This is complete bullshit, because if you had the notification bell on for our channel, we have boldly predicted jutsu that pretty much broke things down on a monthly basis for you guys. So make sure you must smash the like button and hit the notification bell for our channel to support us. It helps us more than you know and we'd appreciate it. Anyway, the conversation continues with Amado bringing up Kawaki and his devotion to Naruto. He is surprised at how everything Kawaki is doing now is motivated by him. Shikamaru agrees that it's not just a simple father complex, but something more intense. Amado concludes that it's just human love from a different angle. It's like a madness and there is no line separating the two. This information by Amado is very important, as I think it's a clue to what might happen in the future, especially how Amado could use and manipulate Kawaki into doing his bidding as he offered him a karma seal. We know how Kawaki feels about power and how he needs it to defeat Code and help save Naruto's life. Being in love with Naruto to such an intense degree is nothing short of madness. We see this fanaticism of Kawaki for Naruto as love because they are the good guys in the narrative. However, Ko's infatuation with Ishiki is seen as madness because we cannot imagine how someone could love Ishiki so much since he's the villain. Both are the same coin but opposite sides. That's what Amado is trying to get at here. This entire segment is linked to the future scene with Kawaki facing his brother Boruto. This is why so many people in our community believe that the time skip is happening soon. In the future, Kawaki has definitely not killed Naruto. He has only done these actions to protect him with space-time ninjutsu, especially since no one else possesses this power anymore except the two brothers. Sasuke has lost this power and the technology Amado created is only limited. The coordinates Kawaki would have will be secret and Naruto wouldn't be able to escape without Kurama, and Naruto doesn't know any space-time ninjutsu either. Moving on, it's nighttime and we cut to Hokage household. Kawaki comes down the stairs only to find Hinata crying over a soap opera on the TV as Naruto is falling asleep. We've all been in this situation before. Naruto's asleep, his girl's watching the ting, right? But fans have stated that this small ass panel could be foreshadowing of Naruto's death or him going missing by his own son Kawaki in the future, as Hinata is crying over what's happening on the TV where it states, "Why do you have to go?" And the man is stating, "It's gotta be me." That's what Naruto would say, that's his nature. And on top of that, guys, get this, of course we also know the real reason is that she don't got that pee anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I love you, Hinata.
I'll be now passing the video on to Harrison as he will cover more of the chapter for you guys.
Thank you, Adil. Now, Kawaki says that he will go to take out the trash as he might forget it later, so he leaves the house, spotting the sensory Jonin sitting on top of a pole. He informs the headquarters that Kawaki has left the house, however he gets a chance to find a blind spot going inside a tree. The sensory ninja is alarmed, but he quickly comes out heading back into the house. The HQ gets informed that he has gone back inside the house, so there's nothing to worry about. However, Boruto notices something strange. He asks Kawaki if he is okay, to which he just says that he's tired and wants to go to sleep. Cutting back to the tree, however, we see another Kawaki through the leaves rustling. We see Kawaki making himself all nice and cozy hiding in a tree in Naruto's garden. Unlike the expert sensory ninja in charge of keeping an eye on the two of them, Boruto actually catches on to Kawaki's little secret. He can sense that the real Kawaki is still outside, and that means that the Kawaki that came back indoors must be a clone. It's at this moment that Kawaki makes a run for it, which makes Boruto enter panic mode as he can feel Kawaki's presence getting further and further away. As he goes outside to chase after Kawaki, he pauses as he notices that the sensory ninja is still watching over him, which confuses Boruto as there should be no way that Kawaki could just slip past him. It's at this moment that Boruto goes big brain, as he catches on that only the clone's chakra is being recognised and that Kawaki must be erasing his chakra like Inogen mentioned earlier on in the chapter. That's right, Kawaki has managed to completely hide his presence from everybody except Boruto. Now, I don't know how I feel about this one, but I'll talk about it a bit more shortly. We then switch as Ada uses her dojutsu to keep an eye on Kawaki, informing Code that he's on the move and that he is heading somewhere alone. Where exactly Kawaki is going is still unknown. However, we know from the previous chapter that Kawaki still feels like he had one option left in order to protect Naruto. And it's highly plausible that Kawaki may be acting upon that plan right now. In fact, what Kawaki is experiencing right now has shades of Itachi about it. Leaving the village in order to keep everyone he cares for safe, similar to how Itachi fled the village and tried to keep Sasuke safe. And we know that Boruto parallels Sasuke tremendously, so the writers may be trying to parallel that brotherly bond between Itachi and Sasuke with Boruto and Kawaki. Let us know what you think of that in the comment section down below though. Anyway, back to the chapter. Code is confused about how Kawaki was able to escape undetected as he's meant to be under 24/7 surveillance, which is when it's revealed by Ada that he has likely nullified his chakra signature, which is an ability that all Otsutsuki possess. Now, we may have actually seen this ability in use before, believe it or not, with the two main instances being Naruto and Sasuke against Jigen in chapter 37, where fans complained about how Naruto, the best sensory ninja around, couldn't detect where the shrunken down Jigen was. And the same goes for Naruto and Sasuke versus Kaguya, as she was able to sneak up behind the two of them like a stealthy assassin without either of them even noticing. And so, my problem isn't with this ability's existence per se, as yes, you could make an argument for saying we have seen it being used before. My issue lies with Kawaki using it. It just feels bullshit. In all seriousness though, Kawaki being able to just instinctively use it feels extremely contrived. Even more so when Inogen revealed that it is the only way to get out of the village earlier on in the chapter. It's all a little bit too coincidental for me. Regardless of how or why he is doing it though, Code doesn't care. He instead sees this as too good of an opportunity to let anything get in his way, so he switches his focus to tracking Kawaki down in the outskirts of Konoha. Now, like I said, we don't understand right now why Kawaki is leaving the village. We know it will be something he shouldn't be doing, as well he's doing it in secret after all. And although he may be doing it to take the burden on alone to try and keep his family safe, the fact that Code is still out for Naruto regardless suggests that Kawaki may have another idea in mind. But enough of that. I'm now going to pass this video on to Yusuf, who will explain the rest of this chapter.
Okay, so easily phasing into a nearby tree, Code starts his apprehension by, how do I say this, shoving his big ass lips through the belt portal on his hands. Yes, I know, it's a bit weird, but he does this so his mouth can access the belt portal he left on Ada. Like, forget about Kara's high-tech phones and Zoom calls. This is the best form of communication. Too bad Ada don't see it like that. Code then requests Ada to guide him to Kawaki using her clairvoyance. As Boruto realizes that Kawaki managed to erase his chakra signature and escape the watches assigned to them, he rushes back to confront Kawaki's shadow clone. However, midway in the exchange, Boruto starts questioning his own ability to recognize the difference between Kawaki's real body and his shadow clone. Like, even the expert watcher, who's probably a master at sensory, couldn't do this, whereas Boruto can sense Kawaki even if he Kawaki managed to hide his chakra. From the get-go, we can assume this is due to either Boruto being an Otsutsuki that can sense other Otsutsukis, or that his previous resonance with Kawaki created a unique bond between them, forming some sort of magnetism-like effect. The latter makes more sense. This is because Ishiki couldn't do the same with Kawaki back in chapter 53 or any other interactions they had. If the shadow clone could be differentiated from the original body due to his Otsutsuki DNA, then Kawaki's shadow clone should have been easily detected by Ishiki. Also, when Ishiki came in Konoha looking for Kawaki, Ishiki should have been able to find him. In fact, he should have just completely hid his chakra presence instead of them being notified. I mean, are we just going to say that this guy is a complete dumbass that didn't do a sneak attack and grab the perfect vessel he wanted, avoiding all the trouble?
Bitch, are you dumb? Pardon me? Are you dumb?
Anyways, Kawaki's real body also ponders upon how Boruto is able to do this, whether it's due to this affinity or if Boruto is able to sense him via his Otsutsuki wave patterns. But like I said, the only logical answer has to be their bond created by the resonance. This resonance wasn't shared by Jigen and Kawaki when they were together, so it would make sense that Ishiki couldn't have detected Kawaki without his karma. However, Boruto's bond with Kawaki makes this possible. The real question here is, how the heck does Kawaki know what his shadow clone knows without it dispersing? What? Everyone knows that a shadow clone only gives their intel and feelings back to the originator once they are destroyed, not when they are active.
That don't make no sense.
Now Ada informs Code that Kawaki is heading west of the village, which makes Code and us wonder why. Why is Kawaki doing this? Has he found a way to become stronger? Anyways, instead of contemplating on it, Code prepares to apprehend Kawaki and just asks him in person. The next chapter more than likely will be Boruto getting ready to pursue his brother. And let's be honest, you all know we loved it when Naruto chased Sasuke, his bond brother, to the end of the earth. Sasuke! Naruto! Sasuke! I love you, man.
What the f? Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Anyways, Code will apprehend Kawaki for sure, but the way I see it, we still have yet to see Kashin Koji. It's likely Jiraiya 2.0 will intervene and save Kawaki from Code's assault. You also have to remember that Code promised Ada that he wouldn't kill Kawaki, so even if Kashin Koji doesn't come in to save our boy, an alternative would be him just being captured. Although we still have Batman Sensei. In this chapter, Sasuke being intrigued in the way Code sets it up his belts makes us think that he might be a few steps ahead as well. However, we have to think on how the story could progress thematically. Kawaki at the end of the day will have to be trained up by someone. Boruto is a shinobi and follows his ninja way. Kawaki being trained in Konoha wouldn't really be a clear contrast to his brother, whereas being trained by Kashin Koji, who himself is an outcast and was also used as a tool, makes a lot of sense. Both Kashin Koji and Kawaki went through a scientific process that literally created the person they are. Kashin Koji also stated previously, just like Kawaki, that he doesn't believe in the ninja way or the shinobi culture. Kashin Koji even stated that he is a tool, whereas Naruto propelled the culture not to believe in that. Think about it, Koji was created from the DNA of Jiraiya and Kawaki was molded and forced to take on the DNA of Ishiki. Both of them in a way were meant to be clones filling the empty holes of existence. Tools per se. Koji a tool for Amado, Kawaki a tool for Ishiki. Kashin Koji believed it was his purpose to kill Ishiki, but was given false security by Amado, which nearly got him killed. In the end, Kawaki fulfilled Kashin Koji's purpose, possibly even lighting up a fire in KK, who now has no purpose, shall create a new one as an excuse to continue on living. So he must train Kawaki. In my opinion, that would thematically be the best